Good morning, everyone. I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I would like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube. I am Spirit to Spirit Teachings Growing Self on my TikTok. I'm 1974 Enlightened Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook right now. If you're new to my channel, I always recommend or suggest that people go read the description of my YouTube channel in order to understand my channel a little better. My channel is not for everyone. I touch on a lot of different topics. I use my own life experiences as a way of bringing things forward. Holy crap, man. And I'm losing a bit of hair. Okay, today I'm talking about lacking in communication. Okay, because right now there's a lot of lack of communication skills everywhere. A lot of people back and forth and what have you. Especially right now when you're dealing with government things, when you're dealing with different businesses, when you're trying to sort your money stuff out, okay? And it's a lot of, like within the system, there's a lot of lack of communication. I know somebody that has been trying to sort something out within their financial stuff, and they end up talking to people. And I can use an example too, because it happened to me yesterday. I was trying to explain something, and when somebody asks you a question and then you start answering it, and then they cut you off and they say, "Oh, well, like just answer the question." It's like I am, and then you wonder why people get irate. But see, the thing is, a lot of people right now don't want to deal with other people. And if you're working in a field like within the government or within any form of system where you're working with people and you have to help people sort their stuff out. See, the thing is, well, this person, with regards to their financial situation, they were trying to sort something out. And when you have somebody on the other end laughing at you, see, I'm going to let you know whoa, that's very narcissistic behavior. Because when you're talking with somebody that's not understanding something, a lot of people are getting AI right now. You're always directed towards the machine. And the machines can't answer the questions because there's no communication there. So this woman was laughing at this person because they were trying to ask questions. And a lot of the time, people don't even comprehend what's being told to them. So they have to kind of ask it. And the ones on the phone that are in these positions where they're supposed to know how to work with people and deal with people who become irate, they just say, well, I don't have to talk to you. And they hang up. And then everything gets left. And then the person that's trying to communicate something, they become infuriated. And I really can't blame them, because I've been in situations like that where I actually just wanted to go through the phone and rip the person's head off for the way that they were talking to me and treating me. It's that part of, we pay your paycheck as individuals. When we're contacting these people, it's your money that went into it. It's like when you're dealing with Manulife, the government, any type of system or affiliation that has to do with sorting your financial situation out. The people on the other end, either who can't understand, or they're very belligerent and ignorant to you, and then they say it's you, when it's actually not always the person. They're trying to understand, the person that's contacting them are trying to understand something. Because, see, when you look at stuff like this person today, I was sitting up with them, whether we're trying to get a piece of paper sent to them with financial information on it. They were very clear about what they wanted. But the people on the other end, it's like giving a person a runaround, and then they wonder why people get frustrated. Because I was sitting up there, 4 different people they were sent to, and 3 before I even come up there. It's like, what? It's that part of, we're paying all these people, and you only really need one department dealing with it because it was just something they needed. But they will push your buttons because if they can push your buttons, then they don't have to work with you. They don't have to deal with you because they just hang up. But they are the ones that make you irate. They create an anxiety because you already have anxiety if you're contacting these people. You already have the anxiety because you're trying to sort something out. And this is the second or third time that this person tried to get a piece of paper, the right piece of paper. And they tell them, oh, well, just hold on, I'll transfer your call. But they don't transfer your call. You end up going back to a menu. Press this number for these people. And then you don't even fucking know what you're looking for or what person you're looking for. It's supposed to be them. Oh my goodness, the hummingbird. Dice la Catarina. You don't even know what you're looking for. And then we, like, as a person, as the individual contacting you, I cannot blame you for getting irate with them. And they should not be allowed to hang up. They should be trained how to communicate with people is what they should be trained for. It's like, yeah, I know, I feel that. And it's pretty sad. When people come into somebody else's channel and they like to throw shade at them, insults and stuff like that, I must say, I know you're part of the matrix. Because if you have nothing better to do with your time than come in and troll other people and insult other people, it's pretty sad. Because if you want to know where I got my wig from, I guess you're going to have to ask God for that answer. Because God gave it to me to grow. It was not a wig. But thank you. I guess my hair is that nice that it appears to not even be real because there are real good looking wigs up there. So I was talking to someone yesterday on the phone, someone within the system, and they kept telling me, just answer the question. Just answer my question. And I was answering their question. And that's why I say they do it deliberately because they try to get a reaction from you because it's about a person on a control trip because they're in a place of what they perceive to be. And it's like, we wonder why people are the way they are sometimes when they have had enough. But then we're told that they don't have to communicate with us. No, they do. They should have to communicate with us, but they should be trained as to how to communicate with somebody who is not understanding what's being told, who are becoming frustrated because when anybody knows when you're dealing with money, people become very frustrated because there's so much bullshit to it. Oh, you got to contact this person to talk about this, or that person to talk about that, and it's like, what? Like, don't you guys have the fucking computer there that all you have to do is press certain buttons, and then what you're looking for comes up? It's like, there's where your money goes. That's why you have no money in your pocket, because you're paying all different forms of a system that don't even need to be there. Like, you look at your government. You look at the government, all the people that are being paid, and they don't even need all those people. They really don't need all those people within that system, because it's a way of hiding things, keeping it from the public. Like, they'll put a limitation on a time limit that you have to claim something, or what have you, but there's no limitation on them. The reason why they put a limitation, and they won't even inform you. You get nothing. You have to figure it all out on your own, because they won't tell you. They hide everything within all the systems. And you get the small print. They say, oh, don't forget the small print. Well, the small print, can you even fucking read the small print? Why do you think they call it a small print? Because unless you have a huge fucking magnifying glass, you can't read it. So most people don't read the small print. And that's how they manipulate you through the system. That's how they make you you feel like you're cornered, and you become irate and frustrated. No, life ain't the way it used to be, because things were hid and covered up, and now we're starting to see what was actually hid from us. So it's becoming frustrating for many people. And from what I'm getting, it would be from yourself too. And it's not the part of wanting to go back, because in order for something to become better, we have to go through the shit show. It's going through the pain, and seeing things for what it is, so that you can change the system. And they want to make people irate and what have you. And this is the part of being able to bring down a system that never really worked for the people in the first place. It kept everybody blinded. And then when people started waking up and started asking the questions, you're told that, no, I don't have to talk to you. It's like, you pick a position where you are going to be in connection and communicating with people that don't understand something. It is your job. You are in that position to help. But it's that part. Oh, well, you're told you don't have to communicate with them, so I don't have to communicate with you. So we're going to fuck you over. We're going to talk down to you like you're beneath us, and you're and that the person is uneducated and knows nothing, because the system don't actually want to help you. They want to defer you and make you go away. So they will make you irate. and pissed off so that they can hang up on you and not deal with you. And then a red flag goes up on your charts. Like, really? So when I was sitting there, like this person, they were almost crying. Like they screamed because you're getting passed from person to person, and it's like you know I get irate with people in those positions because they know what they're doing because they will even kind of laugh and chuckle. And then you feel that you end up feeling the rage within yourself, and then you're the one that's supposed to be in control. It's like like they say, oh well, we're going to record for quality assurance. Well, I guess you best be going back and listening to your fucking employees because they're treating the people like a piece of shit. Birisi tutturuyor, kimi şarkı, bunu kuruşturuyor. Oh, look, listen. They're talking about what I just said with regards to communication because people get like you can't communicate with a machine because you can't ask the questions that you're trying to ask because they have these questions. Oh, okay. They'll send you to this, and these are, if you have questions here, these are your answers. But you can't understand through a machine. It's that part of making everything so complicating so that people will just go away. And if they don't, and they start standing up and speaking up for themselves, like I said, then they put a red flag up. And then it said that, oh, well, you don't have to deal with this person because they're very difficult to deal with. And that's going on in our schools with our children. Like the classrooms are so freaking big now. And then a lot of teachers don't want to deal with specific, certain students because if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're just stupid. You can't learn. I had somebody tell me, oh, well, a never bloomer. Is it? And that really irritates me because everybody is capable of becoming a bloomer to blossom. The reason why they want to say a never bloomer is because that one you perceive to be a never bloomer was never given the opportunity in the area that they knew that they could bloom and blossom. And then we're left feeling like we're nothing when we're actually something very big. We are the ones that get shunned. We are the ones that have something big to offer. We just haven't been given the opportunity because we've been told that we're less than what we really are. Like this person didn't even know that they could apply for a certain thing, and that's why they're applying for it now. And they told me that they only have till September 10th to have it all filed, but they weren't told about it. They found it out for someone else or something else. And you know what? Your government or your health benefits or anything like that, that should be very easily accessible. is what it should be. But they don't make it accessible. Like if you look and all the stuff that people are supposed to have available to them, especially through your government officials, through the government, it's not there. Like I know, like through community services, welfare or disability or what have you, there's a lot of things that people are actually entitled to, but they don't know about it because your worker will not tell you about it because, they're trained not to because it's about saving money for the corruption, for the greed, for the systems, when it's actually the people's money. There are many of us on and out there trying to bring this to light, and it's like I feel for the people that work within the government or any system. I feel for you. I really strongly feel for you because I know that it would not be working in that system because especially when you're seeing people getting screwed over and there's not a damn thing you can say about it because you fear you're going to lose your job. Don't you find something wrong with that? I wouldn't. I never worked for the government. And people say, and I'll say it again, and I said it a number of times. I've heard people say that just because you don't go vote for someone, you have no say. That's horseshit. I have my own say for that specific reason because I didn't give my vote to somebody else. It takes away your say. You allow somebody else to speak for you, and then when they get in and they're not doing for you what you thought they would do or what they told you they were going to do, people say, well, oh, you got to vote, you got to vote. No, I don't vote, which means that I have my say. I speak for me. Nobody else is going to speak for me and say what I want. So we're lacking, the systems are lacking communication skills because they want to make mess, but they don't want to do the communicating in order to fix the mess they made. They just want to keep pointing at myself and you and others like you and say that we're the problem when we're actually not the problem, we're the solution. Because every time you tell your story of what you experienced throughout the system, you're actually helping others to wake up and see what they experienced through the systems to see that this still works. It never did work because it was all about controlling the masses. Like they say, oh, mass hypnosis, mass hypnosis. They're like your systems are the ones that's creating mass hypnosis. People look at me sometimes and think I'm right on lunch because I'm enlightened because I connect and I work with spirit. Spirit works for me. And because I have specific certain beliefs and I know that it's all about like working with spirit. It's right here. There's some people that just they don't like it's like, you don't care about what happens to other people, but you'll be the first to say something when it happens to you, right? You see it, and you laugh at those people. But I have to say, are you laughing when it happens to you? Probably not. I've told people, like, with regard, I hear people saying about the phones, the phone company and stuff like that. And the phone's not working, it's this. And they'll say, oh, well, it's this to do with your phone, it's that, it's this. They'll put the blame on you when it's actually not your fault or not something that you're doing or lack thereof doing. I hear people saying, oh, because there's so many people that are running through these towers and the systems and stuff like that, it's in overload. Is it in overload? Or is it that it's causing an interference? Because that's what the towers are doing. The towers are actually creating an interference because before they started putting in all these towers, everyone's phone, cell service, and internet service and stuff like that, it was working just fine. And then they started putting in all these towers, which causes an interference. It's like the wiring. We have free energy, but you're cutting it off from one person to the other. And that's what's happening with these towers because your cell phone is actually a satellite and it connects directly to a satellite, but the towers cause an interference. It's the electrical. Well, what do I know? I never graduated. Well, from school, but it's not about being educated in that way because it's about common sense. And everything is about common sense. Only there's so much theory and logic and analytical thinking that we're overthinking as opposed to seeing it from a bigger picture. C'est là que tu peux le faire. Si mi kutu tu te ya tai. Ela kutu rush kule pagayano, kutu rush kulite. Like there are people that are going and like I know like lack of communication within the system. People are explaining to doctors that they're experiencing these things and this stuff and that stuff, and they say, "Oh, because of your history or what have your family history or what have you, oh, you're just a mental health patient. So here, go take this anxiety pill. Go home." Meanwhile, those people that are being sent home and told that it's just all in your head, they wind up full of cancer. They wind up with actual medical health issues, and they've been shunned and turned away because of all this access to medical records, because they're not looking at the actual patient. They're too busy looking at a fucking piece of paper because some other doctor said something. Do you know how many times they can fucking lie on you? Do you know how many times they mix your information up with somebody else's and you wonder why you can't get anywhere? Seriously. But this is stuff that a lot of us sometimes we don't even want to look at because you can't comprehend or you can't fathom that the people that are supposed to be helping you are actually sometimes deliberately trying to cause harm to you because you're their paycheck, you're their bread and butter. You're the one paying for their big fancy car or fancy home. And I'm not saying having money is a bad thing. It's all in the way it is used. And there's a lot of the ones in power, in control of it, are using it to be deceitful. And that's why paperwork is being screwed up. That's why paperwork and stuff is being lost. It's happening deliberately. So that's why so many people are left in awe and confusion. When you start talking to other people and putting your story out there and others start sharing their story, that is the wake up. That's what you're waking up to. And some people, they don't want to wake up to it because it's just, oh, I see it, but I can't see it anymore because, it's like, no, you fully need to see it. If people want things to get better, if you're happy with the way things are for you, well, that's good for you. But don't get in the way of somebody else who is saying that what they're seeing because you want to be in denial of it or you don't want to even comprehend or look at what somebody's saying or you don't even want to look at your own situation because there's a lot of people working within the systems that are seeing it. But like I said, they have fear of losing their jobs, losing your income. So they don't speak up when in actuality we should be speaking up. And if you speak up and somebody don't want to deal with you, it's only because they're part of the system and they're living in their own denial. They know deep down that what you're saying is right, but these government phone calls and stuff like that, all this other stuff, they say that they're recording for quality assurance. So if their conversations are being recorded, then they're not going to say shit if they had a mouthful because fear of losing something. And that's what they feed off of. Systems feed off of your fear. Because if you're living in fear, then you're not going to say shit if you had a mouthful. And then you're the one left suffering from stress, anxiety, depression. But it's a part of, yes, allow yourself to speak up, say something. And others will say, oh, well, I don't want conflict. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'd rather have conflict than have something shoved up my ass and be fucked from behind and not able to move forward. I actually, I actually drew the picture of it. Actually, it was a psychic drawing where the system, I actually had a penis going through the chimney, which chimney actually represents from behind. And I said that we were being kept from behind. So it's that part of like, you know, we can't expect others to stand up for us. We can ask them to help us, but in the end, it's you who has to use your voice and say something. It's like that elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about the elephant in the room because it would cause conflict. Well, I guess I'm in conflict every day because sometimes I'm even in conflict with myself because sometimes I feel like I just want to shut myself down and not say anything. And then it's like my higher self is like, no, can't do that no more. That's why we have nothing in life. That's why we're struggling the way that we do. And I'm saying to everyone, this resonates with some people and resonates with doesn't with others. You know, if your life is all hunky dory, that's very nice for you. But it's knowing that not everybody's life is hunky dory, and they're dealing with a bunch of shit that you can't see, or you do see it and you just want to say, "Oh, you always this, you always that." It's like I just want to tell those people, your life is so perfect. But wait a minute, your life isn't because you're fucking bitching about something all the time. So and that's that part there. Por isso seria longe, like I stand up for people, but what I'm actually here to do is teach others how to stand up for themselves. It's not about fist fighting or insulting people or anything like that. But your voice is basically your voice is the weapon of choice that they're afraid of, because it means that you're bringing out your strength. You're bringing out your story of what you've been through because of the system, what you've tried to accomplish. But they always throw their freaking bullshit jargon in your way. Like he kept getting told today when he was trying to make like contact with somebody. They kept getting switched from person to person to person, and then they were all acting stupid, like they didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. What you don't know what somebody's talking about? What the fuck are you doing that job for? Because you shouldn't be doing it. Give it, allow somebody else to come in that can actually do the job properly. Because it's not a job that you should be doing yourself. It's finding a job. It's finding that work where you are able to do it properly. Some people like being in jobs like that because they like the power that it gives them. Thank you. And it's that part of when I've talked on the phone with certain individuals, I feel the rage coming up. And when I feel the rage coming up, all of a sudden the spirit will speak for me, but not in English. My ancestors will speak up. It's not just necessarily on the phone either. It's like if that person really like irks me and pisses me off and agitates me and stuff like that, it's just like, and it's just like, look away now. And it's not putting hexes or curses on anybody or anything like that. And it's like, that spirit is saying, I had enough of your bullshit. And that spirit doesn't speak English. Because I'm telling you right now, I'd rather not speak English anymore. But I do because some people just, that's all they understand. And if I speak in a different tone, especially if it seems assertive, it happens when I get upset and I cry. It's because I'm releasing my scream and I speak in different tongues, in different languages, because it's that spirit knowing what spirit it's dealing with in that spirit's language. But then the person that's receiving it, it's like, that's why I say, with me, I go spirit to spirit. So if you don't understand what you're experiencing or what I'm saying or what have you, I'm telling you now, don't take offense to it. But if you're getting agitated with it, it's because that spirit's connected, that spirit within you is connected to you. So everything is a spirit, spirit. Communication is a spirit, spirit. And it's it's more intense now because there's so many people waking up, and then there's people like in the psychiatric unit and stuff like that. And your medical professionals, they need to be trained with this. You really need to be trained in the spirit spirit communication. But a lot of people don't understand that. They'll preach it. They'll preach about certain things in a setting. But unless you really know spirit and you're connected with spirit, God, creator, source, universe, however you refer to it, spirit is everything. And I am the voice of spirit. I am the voice of spirit. I am the voice of the animals. I am the voice of the plants, trees. That's why it's just it doesn't matter where I am. I thought I swear. I went to the beach the other day, and I say, like, spirit directs me towards places I need to go. There was a woman there, and she was kind of struggling with stuff with regards to like being able to be her authentic self in front of people because they feel it's not accepted. Who cares? It's only because it's not accepted because they don't accept their own self in that sense. They are unable to be authentic themselves. And it's the same as like it's like when you suppress someone, when you laugh at somebody who's trying to sort through something, especially when it comes to financial stuff. Wow, if you got a slap across your face for it, I don't believe in violence, but I guess you like you want to laugh in someone's face who's struggling and is trying to sort through something. That's extremely narcissistic. And you can say it's not, but I'm here to let you know, yeah, it is. Because if it was turned and it was you, you'd probably be reacting the same way. But you can sit there or stand there or whatever and just say, oh no, well, no, I don't like, no. Like, yeah, I bet you the people around the corner would say differently. Secret people in when you say, so the world is lacking communication skills, especially within the systems. There are ones in there that actually do have heart and they know how to work with people. But there are so many in there that don't know how to work with people. And sometimes they're in there because, oh, it's a place where they can pull a power trip and be of authority. Oh, I'm the authority here. You have to go through me in order to get what you want, what you're entitled to, or what you're looking to get, or what have you. You have to go through me. It's like I'll tell you right now, if people don't want to communicate with people on the phone, then everything should be easily accessible. And someone will say, oh, well, it is. Well, no, actually, it's not as easy. It should be so easy to access yourself, but everything is designed to create stress and anxiety, especially when you're dealing with systems that's supposed to be for the best interest of the people, when in actuality, it's not. Like all this bull crap mumbo jumbo that they put in there, it's only to keep people confused and not knowing what they're entitled to. Because I'm telling you right now, minimum wage at $14 an hour or however much it is, that's not a lot. Not a lot at all. And I'll tell you right now, people really need to tell the government to fuck themselves because we need for the benefit of the people. And I'm not talking about going communism or anything like that either. That ain't for the benefit of the people. Dictatorship ain't the benefit of the people. Because it's only benefiting people and it's not you. And it's not about telling somebody, oh, we'll be happy with what you have. Oh, yeah, maybe those people are tired of being told be happy with what you have when they really don't have a whole lot and they aren't even experiencing life. They're just getting by robbing Peter to pay Paul. I have no respect for the systems. Not a bit. Like I might get help through disability, but I'm getting help through disability because the systems, other people want to hire me because I'm authentic. We're in 2024 and people are still expecting other people to suppress who they are. Seriously? Got a big ego? It's those same people that think their shit don't stink when, no, it stinks just as bad as everybody else. So I have no respect for the systems and I have no respect for people that freaking laugh at others and go on their little power trips because they work for the man. It's like the man you work for, this is a spirit to spirit, and that spirit knows who I'm talking to. They think of that for today. This isn't directed towards any certain individual. So if you take that as being directed towards you, well, you might want to check your ego because, you know, not being rude, just being upfront, truthful, and blunt. Um, that it's that part of shaking you. Spirit is shaking you and shaking you to the core and saying, hey, your ancestors had it right. These corrupt governments, these corrupt systems, they're stealing everything from you. They have you in fear that they're going to take your homes, like even landlords and stuff like that. They'll make up any excuse to put somebody out just so that they can raise the rent. And they don't just raise it up a little bit either. And you go to the tenancy board about anything because the tenancy board, was actually in place there to help the tenants. but it don't help the tenants because the landlords are able to do whatever they want because they know that most people are not going to challenge it because most people in that situation don't have the money or the means to do so. And they're already going through a whole lot of stress and anxiety and stuff like that, and that just creates more for them when it's actually supposed to take away the stress and anxiety, but it creates more. Oh, well, you got to have this, you got to have that. But all the stuff that is considered, if you look at a criminal code, everything to them is a crime. It's like it's a whole lot of bullshit because life should be based and centered on common sense. But it's all about control and lies and deceit and rules and mandates and regulations. It's like take them all and shove them up their ass. And then anybody else that tries to force it on other people because they're so hooked into the system. I feel for you and I cry for you and I pray for you that one day you will see the light. And the light represents truth within yourself so that you can see the truth outside of yourself and help others to see the same. When they see you coming forward, and if they say, oh, you're just looking for attention, like somebody wrote on my post the other day, I'm just putting my story out there, and if people come in and hear it, well, they come in and hear it. I'm allowed to say my piece. I'm allowed to say what I go through, and it doesn't mean that somebody's out seeking attention. What I'm seeking to do is help others see things for themselves, within themselves, so that they can release it and they can be empowered and not have to look to a system to rely on a system that's not for the benefit of them. It's a group of people wanting to be in control and power, and they'll manipulate everyone and anyone they can in order to keep you down because they know who you are. They know what you're capable of when you empower yourself. Notice they keep people divided, like when they had the trucker thing, the protest for God. Where was your prime minister? He was off fighting centers. But where were they when they were having the other ones, Black Lives Matter and about abortion and everything like that, stuff that was causing conflict between the people? Where were they then? They were right out there walking. Why? Because they were trying to get votes. And then when it came to something that was for the better of humanity as a whole, and I'm not putting things in categories because when you are a leader, especially when you are a leader of a country, what the fuck are you doing dividing it? You're supposed to be uniting it. You're supposed to be bringing it together. You're supposed to be helping it find common ground. You're supposed to be doing what's best for everybody, and it's not about dividing it into certain groups and classes and everything like that. You're not a fucking leader. You're a fucking flag on society. You're what's wrong with you're what's wrong with the country. And I don't care which leader it is that's in which party. You're supposed to be hearing the people, not dividing them and keeping them one on each side so that they get out the fucking pitchforks. A true leader unites people. It doesn't divide it. It does what's in the best interest of the country as a whole, not their pocketbook or not their big fucking elites. And if I have family that's connected with that, is it, like it's like people say we're related to everyone. Yes, but if you're affiliated with like um, parts of systems that's screwing all the people, and you just sit back and watch it happen, you're just as liable as because you're not saying anything. And then when the people that do come forward and say something, you want to throw shit at them. I must say, where's your backbone? If it was your family going through it, would you sit back and watch them go through it, or would you do something about it? Because this morning I just want to take the phone from the person and just tell the people, look, stop playing them. Because they all know, like the system knows who you are. And that's why you'll find a lot of people like myself, and it's not because we don't work. It's because we want no part of the system. It's and then the people that are going in to change it, the people that want to sit back and point fingers and say, "Oh, like you just doing this," but those are the people that maybe one day you'll think like, those are the ones that's going to save your ass. So instead of fighting with the people that are bringing truth forward, why don't you listen to them? Why don't you hear them out and then look at your own life and start speaking up for yourself to the systems, not each other, because the systems was programming people for nothing. They had COVID, and what did it do? All it did was divide people, but it woke people up. It tore families apart. It had people feeling like they were going to kill their family members. So what once was good connections within a family come torn apart. Now it's coming back to being able to communicate with one another and, seeing what really caused the fight. Because I was told that, like, when I was here, I was told that if I didn't get the vaccine, that I was going to be kicked out of my home. I wasn't living in the same place. That'd be the same as your landlord telling you, oh, because you're not getting the vaccine, I can't have you living in my building. Guilting people to say that, if your family members die because you don't wear a mask, I must say, people lost their jobs. And people got what they called CERB, and then they were told they had to pay it all back in the time that they were doing it. So basically, what they're saying right there is, we want that money back. You didn't earn it. We want that money back. So in that case, you had no income, did you? But people don't want to. Some people don't look at it that way. Some people could have went on EI, but if you went on EI, then they couldn't take that money back from you. Unless people were forced home, unable to work, we're told, oh, we're going to give you this money to subsidize what you've lost for income. And a lot of people were saying, don't accept it. Don't accept it because you're going to want it back. And what happened? But those people were told that they were conspiracy theorists. You know that, you don't know this. Like, no, you were too busy listening to the fucking news. You were too busy listening to corruption, to listen to people that were actually looking for it. Someone just came in and was like, basically, and I know it's somebody within the system. So stand up for yourself. Don't allow the system to divide you, to have you second guessing yourself. Listen to your body because your body will tell you in a big way. Wake up to yourself. That form of spirit that you are. Oh my. Oh, I have. I have. If you're wondering, I have that looks like cold sores, but it's actually not cold sores. When my cat, he'll push into me and he'll want me to like pet him, rub him and stuff like that. And I do this, and he'll come up and he'll cut my face like that, and his nails cut. So he caught me here and he caught me there. He'll even do it in the middle of the night. Wake up, Nanny, and give me a pet. I want some lovins, Nanny. Yesterday, oh my gosh, that's a part where you jump, and I know it's like I jumped from one place to another, and it was like holy crap, because it was like I'll get into that another time. Right now. I come in to do this, so I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm gonna figure out maybe I'm gonna go to a beach, clouded over, like they like to. They do mess with the weather and everything. Oh, I'm sorry, Fly. Quiero todo eso, like you said, muko esteroida, eso que le boto todo en kudu. Well, I think they forgot all this thing, so we'll do another one. Life is a box of chocolates, Forrest Gump. But there was another part to that that they didn't finish. Kila todo ya sumimash, like it's like this is what we're doing. Okay, one can never consent to grief when one feels an impulse to soar. It's like soar like an eagle, spread your wings and fly. Spread your wings, be who you are, and don't hurt people along the way. Because in the end, when you hurt people along the way, you end up hurting yourself. And some people don't get that concept, but skip it for me. And I thank the ones that the pictures and the likes and shares and the follows and have you. Yeah, actually. So with that being said, I send you all much love, light, and blessings and support and very good health to everyone who is willing to accept. And show up to be big, bold, brave, most importantly. Be yourself. Be authentic. Be who you are, not who somebody says you are. You have to be. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and know that you have more power and more strength than you can comprehend at times. I send you all love and enjoy have a great week. And take no shit, but make shit. Y si quieres fotocopiar, será que fotocopiamos